Good morning, Star Wars players. We are live today with some OCS Top 16 action. We have two Chris's in the booth, myself and Chris Gogolin. Chris, how are you this morning?
Fantastic, Chris. How you doing?
I'm doing well. So today we have game two of Stimpy versus Yoshi. Game one, Yoshi, Sam won by three, so a very close game. And then, of course, basically this game will probably be the decider if it's more than three fourths. So it looks like Yoshi is on Shadow Collective, and Bill is on looks like Anakin Family. So that's what we got for you today.
Yeah, this should be an interesting matchup. Obviously, there'll be quite a few battles going on. Sam started the They Will Be No Match for You, the Maul effect. So Maul's going to be a little more active with the double-bladed lightsaber, perhaps participating in some more battles. We'll have to see exactly what Bill's space package looks like. He does have the best star pilot in the galaxy card. Is he running the Han, Chewie, Millennium Falcon? Has he got Luke in Red 5? That's going to impact his ground package and how well he can interact with Sam and all of his blaster weapons.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like it's going to be a fun one. So we got some pretty standard stuff. Getting the This is Pod Racing going to pull the nightclub into hand from
Taking the
Bill.
nightclub usually lets you know that he already has the 2-0 site then if he's pulling the nightclub.
Sure.
Sam will likely just set up Maul here first, get that interaction going. Um, he'll get Maul out with the objective. I'm sorry, with the site. If it's there, he'll pull a location with the objective. Hopefully, it's the 2-0, and then he'll move Maul over with the lightsaber and kind of just hang out there for a turn or two. We'll see what other. Oh, he's got accelerate as well, so he's also getting the bridge out. So it looks like he's going to get a good activation jump going right here.
Seems like if you're correct about your surmising about the nightclub, it seems like both players will probably have their activation under them pretty well. So that's good. Have a nice interactive and fun game.
Yeah, it's always rough when somebody starts off and it's just like, oh, it's a 12-6 force activation ratio, and you're just, all right, well, this is going to be lopsided from the start. So both these guys should be getting 10 or 12 force next turn, and hopefully moving from there pretty easily.
Oh, and Maul is getting both his lightsaber and a gun, so he'll have plenty going on there in case he gets into a battle. He'll have some stuff to forfeit.
Yep, he'll get the extra forfeit from the gun. He'll also have the ability to potentially, with You'll Be Dead already out, also do ping damage in addition to his force drain damage, making Maul even more difficult to deal with.
And as you predicted, jumping over to the first light, getting set up in his new quarters.
Crazy Carl in the chat saying this is the matchup Bill was hoping to see compared to some of the other decks Sam could play. So we'll see how this bodes for Bill. And Wayne also points out, he's like, did Anger, Fear, Aggression just move? I had no idea you can move the effect locations. Yes, you can click and drag the different cards in your effect area and reorder them however you wish.
Woo! There it goes. I actually just learned that trick the other day, so it's pretty cool.
It's very helpful if you're trying to separate like shields and shield pulls. Like, these are the 3 shields I pulled, and here's the one I played, Hear Me Baby to pull, and put that one off to the side. So then you know how many shield pulls you might still have left.
That's a neat trick, much like spinning. Let's see. So Bill gets. He's trying to pull Polis Massa. I assume he's got it.
Be also interesting to see if Sam is running any restraining bolts in his deck, because Bill's likely to get 3PO out this turn or next turn, which will help start that card cycle.
Now, in your opinion, is this Shadow Collective space package, is that pretty locked in these days? Is Gaul and for the first light ship pretty just standard?
Gaul kind of goes in and out, um, because unless you're starting the mob points combo to pull it, a lot of people won't play it because they don't want the floating zero. Some people will play it anyway in certain builds. First light is pretty traditional, especially because the objective can pull it, and then usually you'll see another ship. Typically, it's the Zuckuss and Mist Hunter with Forlom, recently released V card, and occasionally you'll see a third ship floating in there, like a Boba Fett and Slave One, because Double Back and Hondo can also pull that out of the deck.
Makes a lot of sense. And as again as you predicted, we got 3PO in the Skywalker quarters. So Bill up to 11 activation. Plus he's got his cycling going.
Once in a while, I know what I'm talking about. It's not always, but once in a while. I'm good for the first couple turns. We'll see how it goes from here.
For Bill though, do you think he's actually going to play the nightclub, or do you just get that to get a zero out of his deck? Because there's already two battlegrounds on the table. Is that enough for him to fight over? Is he going to want to compact the game?
It's it could go either way with that one, I'll say. There may be an opportunity where he wants the nightclub, especially if he's afraid of Sam running stunning leaders, which is also something we commonly see in certain builds of Shadow Collective because they're playing a lot of interior sites. So if he's afraid of that, being able to put guys at the nightclub is actually pretty good for him
Sure.
because you can't exclude people at that site. It's possible he just wants to zero out, and he may just hold it for like 3 or 4 turns, let Sam commit some characters to the table, and then go to the nightclub, go to Polis Massa, and set up his own damage, and then try and use whatever other characters he has to hit and run with Draw Their Fire using the epic event to retrieve force with Skywalkers, and just kind of try and clear out some of Sam's characters while recurring some of his own.
So we see Yoshi looking for a blaster or first light card here. Still in the very early stages here, getting everything set up for both players. And we see another battleground come out. We see the other first light site there.
Carl's trying to contradict me, saying that Stunning Leader would work at the nightclub. Except, Carl, the nightclub's text says you can't exclude characters at the site. So, I mean, I know it's interior if that's what you were thinking, but the actual text on the site says you can't do it.
Carl saying he only remembered the defense value part, which, that part's good too.
That's also something that could come into play here between Maul adding and the blasters and the already high destiny. It's a lot of people going to get shot in that nightclub if Bill's going to put characters there. So it's definitely something he may hold off on until later in the game.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And again, we see both players just really filling up their hands. Bill's at 12 cards. Sam's at 14. Sam's going up to 15. We're in shield territory if he so chooses.
I'm sure he's got a used interrupt that he can put back. The shield only works during the draw phase, and you have to spend 2 force to do it. So as soon as Stimpy pulls it and wastes the shield pull, Sam just drops an interrupt and gets away from it.
Now, in my experience, the Anakin family deck is extremely reactive, right? So I'm guessing we probably won't see Bill voluntarily deploy too much until Sam blinks first.
Very likely. Anakin is definitely more of a reactive hit and run style deck. He may go to Polis Massa and just set that up, get that little bit of drain of 1 going. Bill already pulled Battle Plan though, which I guess just to stop Maul from draining at the 2-0.
Yeah, that makes sense. Joker King agrees with you. Says Bill might go to space. So
It's the safer theater for Lightside to interact with. You've got, 2 Battle Destiny immune to less than 7 if it's the traditional Falcon package. If it's the Luke and Red 5, it's completely immune to attrition, plus adding, a Destiny to power or attrition.
And in space, there's no guns to worry about, at least most likely.
Most likely, but that Coruscant laser cannon battery can deploy on the first light and also get forfeited used from inconsequential losses, so it's not out of the realm of possibility.
That's spicy. All right, so here we see the Red 5 Virtual and Rebellion's Hope Luke going to Polis Massa. It's been interesting watching the meta shift to this being the matching Luke package of choice. I'm still used to the R2 and Red 5 and original Luke Skywalker V, so it always throws me when I see those two on the board.
Coincidentally, I'm just noticing, looking at the Discord, I'm sorry, looking at the Twitch, I don't see our cameras active.
Oh no! Oh, you're
Do
right.
you guys see us? Yeah,
Yeah, chat. Can you see our videos, or is it hiding?
it looks like it's a blank box, but we are actually here.
Not seeing you. Okay. Let me recapture that real quick.
They were active, but now they're not. Okay, that's true. I did remember seeing my smiling face for a minute, but now it's gone.
Let's try this. Sorry about the. Let's go to. How do I get?
Stimpy's pivoting to that Red 5. A Han Chewie Falcon combo ship is another possibility.
Okay, so our cameras are back. Okay, there. We should be back in business now.
Hey, there we go.
What's y'all's take on who's favored in this matchup? Uh, I don't know that I have a strong opinion about it. Carl said that Bill liked the matchup earlier, so that's certainly an indication. But it's very interactive, so there's
Yeah.
certainly possibilities. Even if one side's obviously favored, things can go wrong in either direction. As we see Dryden Voss come down to his ship with a gun and crush the rebellion from Yoshi.
Okay, that's certainly going to be helpful because, Clash is a card that we do see in this matchup. My personal opinion, I think this game is kind of like pretty close to a coin flip. The first 2 or 3 battles will kind of dictate the way the game is going to go, who's able to hit characters, who is able to avoid people being hit, and then we'll, kind of take things from there.
Phantom Menace too, so Maul will be immune against most people. Well, not most, but many people. Not 5 Anakin, but if Bill has a mix of 5 and 6 Anakin, it could be that Maul have some immunity against him. And Kira's joining Dryden Voss.
Yeah, if it's Jedi Anakin or even, I think General Kenobi is allowed in this version.
I think that's right.
Yeah, he can play Episode 1 Obi. So if it is a General Kenobi, that would also give him, or Yoda, that would also give him a little bit of immunity there. But as predicted, Sam is going to stack up one location. He'll move Maul over now. He'll get, he's got 1 ping damage. He's got plenty of forfeit from 3 blasters. He can drain for up to 3 if he uses the lightsaber's text. So he can start putting a little bit of pressure on here and then kind of force Stimpy to do something to change the pace of the game.
Well, that's a tough site for him to attack. So we'll see. We'll see whether Bill tries to go after him or goes with the spread plan. Maybe goes to Cloud City, and again, maybe we see that nightclub because he hasn't lost any cards yet, so he's still got that hanging out. Both Carl and Kessling say that this matchup is a coin flip or close to it, so some more experts in the chat. We'd love to see it.
With the first game being only a win by 3, I mean, this one really could come down to the wire.
Yes.
If that first differential had been more, 10 or 12, it would certainly impact the way the players approach the matchup. But with the win by 3, it's basically just a result of this game. Although we did see a game yesterday end by 1, so
True. Although again, that was the first game of a match, right? So the second
yes.
game ended up deciding. Love that we've gotten so many close, fun games so far, and some upsets, which is pretty cool to see.
We got 4 people agreeing with the coin flip approach. So, all right.
Flip those coins, everyone. We got a
Of course, 3
50-50 on our hands.
of course 3 of them are on my team, so maybe we all just have the same idea. Well, our team, should I say. We're going to see Chris playing some games here someday, right?
I'm playing this weekend, actually, in
Yes.
Burbank, California. So should be a good time.
Outstanding.
And then again in 2 weeks at the first ever Scariff Regionals. So that's pretty cool.
That's in Vegas, right?
No, the Scariff Regionals is going to be in Burbank again. Vegas States is in December. But I will be
Okay.
playing at that as well. So three tournaments coming up feels strange for me.
I was going to say, yeah, I think that's more than you played the last couple of years. So,
Probably true, yeah. Mike mentioning that Luke being deployed to space and probably not being messed with too much by Sam is another plus in favor of Shadow Collective because he won't have the EVP to come after him and also won't have the ping retrieval from the other Luke. So this Luke is very good at fighting in space, but maybe some of the other aspects of that persona choice might come back to bite Bill.
it does limit the ground package a little bit, basically down to just one weapon being Anakin's lightsaber now, potentially. Um, Unless he's got something else going on in here. But yeah, he's just going to have the one weapon. And, when you're trying to clear multiple characters and you've got weapons that he can forfeit used and recycled to absorb forfeit, it does make it a lot harder to, get through these stacks of guys and girls uh, that Sam is likely going to have in the early stages of the game.
Crimson Dawn's a very progressive organization.
Yes, it is. They have all kinds of other leadership. Kenobi is a possibility with the episode 1 lightsaber, but, you know, it's not the most commonly played thing, but it is still in the realm of possibilities for sure.
This feels like the turn that Bill is finally going to have to act. And we see the acting
Whoa.
begin with Lando Scoundrel going down to the first light site. So we're going to see a battle here.
I see a stunning leader here and a counter beat.
That could be two. CRG saying patience is key for both sides. This mostly does not look like a patient act from Bill, so we'll see how that pays
Just,
off.
just threw patience right out the window. We got Lando Scoundrel, we got Anakin Padawan with his lightsaber. See if we get a third character here. Now, obviously, Clash isn't going to come into play because of the Crush the Rebellion, but Maul could still You Are Beaten potentially, or you could see other things like Wounded Warrior or Sniper, excluding some characters from this battle for Darkseid.
All right, we see the free battle. Thanks to Anakin. Nothing to retrieve yet, so that's not going to come into play. And a swing at
Yep.
Maul, just going for the big man himself.
Sam
And
does not play the Stunning Leader, so yeah.
Sam does play a force field, so the one weapon that you mentioned, not even going to be played in this battle, and not grabbed by Bill either.
I know Maul's the guy you kind of want to get off the table, but he's also the one more likely to have defensive abilities.
Yep. And Maul's potentially going to hit both of these characters here.
Yeah.
As
And if
we
he
see.
has a sniper to remove one of them, and possibly the Wounded Warrior for the beatdown, this could be a fast game. We'll have to just see how it, what tricks Sam has in his 11 card hand.
That would be spicy. Although Bill does play the first aid combo to not get Anakin's forfeit reduced, so it's not going to be a complete beatdown unless, like you said, there's a sniper or wounded warrior involved here. Yoshi flips
Hitting the
his
character.
objective.
Yeah, hitting him also does flip, which will then give him the additional destiny and a power, but not likely to be too impactful.
And for their next trick, I assume Maul and all these various guns are probably going to be shooting at Lando as well. Mighty Jabba, is that a card that this deck plays a lot?
Yes, it's one of the only Jabba personas that makes sense to deploy, just because of his deploy forfeit and he's built-in immunity. And
Fair enough, yeah. That makes sense. And we do see the hit on Lando. Do we see any tricks to go with it? Nope, just another shot from Kira at Anakin. So probably not looking like a wounded warrior sort of battle, but we'll get some shots off here.
he did add one with Maul, so now Anakin can't be used. Well, Anakin already couldn't be used to satisfy attrition from the Odin combo, but
Oh,
there's the
there
Wounded
is the wounded
Warrior.
warrior. There we go.
Yeah, you have to hit somebody with a non-lightsaber weapon,
Ah, that's
so.
why. That makes sense.
And Maul did add one there, so that may also come into play. But it does take a destiny off the board. It takes 5 power off the board. Now suddenly things are looking. I mean, not likely to get overflow again because Anakin does still have his 8 forfeit, but
But you do lose out on his power.
yeah. And Sam very likely here can get away with just forfeiting 1, possibly 2 guns used because he's got 3 of them there. It's a good battle for Sam.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to see at least one more character from Bill if he was going to go after that site. So we'll see. We'll see how badly this bites him.
Oh, he's firing the gun again.
Did not quite get
He
there on
does.
that shot.
Didn't get Lando. I don't know if he had another trick that he was thinking about there, or maybe just wanting to move some cards around. He just shuffled, so it's not like he knows where anything is.
Right. And we did see Bill grab the wounded warrior as well, interestingly enough. So we'll see
Oh,
what
there's
where
the
that
force
goes.
push.
Okay.
Nice. Force push to exclude Maul, exclude Lando because of the Wounded Warrior. Anakin will not draw at all now, so Darkseid loses nothing this battle. And
That's rough.
other than the force push they played, and you're looking at 7 power plus a destiny to power plus a battle destiny, and Anakin's only covering 8 forfeit.
So Power Destiny 5. And another 5. So in the off chance that Bill hasn't found a Hujix yet, this could be, as you said, a quick one.
He'd be peeling 9 cards if he doesn't have it.
AJR. So he gets Anakin back at least.
Is going to get grabbed by Sam. Okay,
and
he
there's
does
the
have the
Hujix.
Hujix.
Yeah, I assumed after he played the Resilience that he did have the Hujix because he he might have just not kept going if he didn't.
Yeah. Justin points out that those aren't unexpected cards, and you're exactly right, especially when you see your opponent saving 3 force, because he's anticipating either needing the force for the interrupts themselves, or, light side is known to play draw their fire in this type of matchup. You'd want to save force for free interrupts like force field and wounded warrior and things like that. So
Definitely, that all makes a lot of sense. We have a new sub in chat, or a recurring sub. Thank you, Batmouse, for your 27 months of PC support.
And we do see Stimpy. He pops Walkling here to get the Hujix back because simple Coward is not on table. Only Secret Plans.
And with 3PO on table, he'll be able to find that again in a couple turns here.
And Joker King is correct. Kira does double Secret Plans because your opponent doesn't occupy a battleground site, so he did have to pay 2 to retrieve that 1 card. But he had 6 force left, so.
That's how they get you. That double. Also cancels it could be worse, I believe.
I think it just doubles it.
Oh,
All right. Now Sam will turn up the heat a little bit here. Drain him with Maul. He'll do a blaster ping from You'll Be Dead and cause 4 force loss this turn.
so it feels like this is what Bill was trying to avoid, but I don't know that he avoided it very successfully.
Now he just lost 2 characters and still ends up in the exact same spot. I mean, he did get his opponent to play some of his tricks and put some of it into play. The Wounded Warrior got grabbed. The Force Push once per game was used.
Losing 2 copies of Speak of the Jedi Council, so that's good for Bill. That he didn't really miss any consequential cards there. Although Clash probably would have been nice to have.
Well, Crush cancels it, so it's
Oh,
a
right.
dead card.
Crush
That's
is
why.
on the
That's
table.
why.
Yep.
Yeah, he 3PO'd it back and then lost it because it's a dead card for him.
Yeah, that makes sense. CRG saying that he's expecting multiple grabbers out of Sam in this matchup, so we'll see if that comes into play. Dengar
Most
joining the
decks,
party.
yeah, most decks these days seem to be running a second grabber. Most of them are running the tentacle or grappling hook. But
They're
you
good
never
cards.
know in a matchup like this. If you're just running like the first light to say like your only ship, something special comes into play. Then being able to potentially retrieve it at some point in the game and then pull it back out with the objective.
And again, we see Yoshi just absolutely filling up his hand with tricks.
Yep.
So again, we're back to square one for Bill, and he may have to go with Plan B here. We'll see.
Right. Yeah. If you're Stimpy, you have to pivot here and do something else. You can't attack into that site. You're gonna. So I mean, that's a drain of 3 and a ping of 1. But he is. Sam would have to take 1 loss to do that. Might be an opportunity where he goes to 2 additional sites to get resistance set up, to cut that loss down, or just gets his own drain going, get a round battle plan, not have to pay for it anymore, and force Sam to send some of his characters elsewhere.
And this matchup with all the little guys and the guns is not even. It's not even that reliable to be able to put a spy to one of Sam's sites, because it's not going to be hard for Sam to find somebody that can clear them off.
If he had Jin Urso, that could buy him some time, though, for sure. Yeah, but
Sure,
again,
Jin Urso to the occupied site would be
Yeah.
would be nice, at least for Bill, to stem the bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, 14 cards in hand. Sniper's a real possibility, depending on, or Uta Guta or some other card that potentially breaks cover or whatnot. But if you're not running Gaul, which we haven't seen yet any indication of, Sniper does become a little more potentially viable. Comscan, that's the other one I was thinking of.
I don't know if this deck would run Comscan though, because doesn't Comscan just kill the spy? Whereas some of the others where that break cover gives you a chance to beat them down.
It does make the target lost, but it also does cancel some commonly played cards like Dodge and a Force Drain by a Lone Falcon, which,
That's fair. That's always a handy tool to have these days.
yeah, so Comscan would seem to be a very likely choice for this style of deck.
Fair enough. Stimpy is paying 3 to drain 1 at Polis Massa, which is feels like rarely a good sign for the light side player.
I think it's safe to assume it means he's not coming to battle Sam again.
Yes.
So maybe he might just put someone elsewhere. See, maybe he's got a barrier or something defensively that he can set up, or something of his own, blast the door kit or whatever.
So we do see Bill put Anakin to the first light bar. It's interesting that he went there instead of the Cloud City site. I guess is the Cloud City site at drain -1? That's probably true.
It is a drain -1 there, and you could argue that by going to the other first light site, he does stop the potential of Sam just spreading out, controlling 2 sites, doing 2 drains and 2 blaster ping damage.
Mike in chat saying all in on Jin. So we're Team Jinner, so here for Bill.
Mm-hmm. It's a gin and jury juice meta. There you go, Straw. There you go. Well played.
Anakin once again being armed with his alternate image lightsaber. It's a good looking card right there. Great work from the graphics team. And that's all Bill is deploying this turn. It's just the Anakin. So he's still gonna eat that drain and the ping next turn. It's tough sledding from here, I would say.
Yep, he's trying to stabilize. I mean, technically speaking, he's actually ahead in Life Force still, just because he's put fewer cards on the table.
Because
they both have 14 in hand.
Sam has 10 cards at one location.
Yeah. They both have 14 in hand, but Sam has 20 down and Bill has 25 down. So even though that first battle went bad for him and he doesn't quite have the upper hand in board position, he's ahead on Life Force totals for about 5 more seconds.
And I assume we'll see some of those cards that are not relevant in the matchup go from Bill's hand here, since he refilled back to 14. He's probably got plenty of fodder at least.
The other cards I see sitting on top of Stimpy's lost pile right now is Strike Force. So he did have an additional grabber that got lost, and that may also allow Sam to loop around some of his more annoying interrupts.
Oh, and Bill loses from reserve deck 3 characters. Padme V, Lando Scoundrel, and Leia Organa V are all gone.
And there goes Rey as well, too, the You'll Be Dead ping. So 4 characters in a row.
That's rough, because this deck is already character light, from my understanding.
Mm-hmm. And that's 2 Landos. So Lando's a persona you really don't have to worry about so much anymore. I mean, Jedi Lev is still a possibility to take one back into hand, but...
Sure. And here's Shizor coming down and getting a blaster. I guess he borrowed Maul's blaster. That's probably smart. Maul doesn't need that. So that says to me that Sam's going to do some spreading here, and there he goes with Maul. Maybe one other person over to the... There we go.
Maybe he might take 2.
Yeah.
I might take Dengar as well.
Take a hit
he's
going to
take... He's taking Kira. Okay.
It's the same squad as before from the last battle. Oh, and
Dengar's
coming too. So he is strongly sticking with his stack. Everybody, literally everybody. That's wild. So that's gonna be something Bill's gonna have to abandon real quick there. So I imagine we'll just see the opposite next turn with Anakin moving back over to the other 2-1 dark side site there. Was it his office? Is that it? Or reception area?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, with Luke already committed in space and Lando out of commission at this point, you're looking at Leia, Rey, and maybe a second Padme. But I mean, again, it's not General Leia, so there's no like Destiny adding going on there. It was Leia Organa. He's got two versions of Leia in his deck, so
Joker King is interested in knowing if Shadow Collective runs Ellis. I have not seen it in a lot of Shadow Collective builds, but it does seem like a card that would make sense.
it's one of those that's probably on like a 60th card list. You know, you can justify it somehow in certain matchups, and other matchups, you know, with Insurrection out and things, it's a dead card, entirely dead, but on life support, shall we say?
Plus, most of Darkseid's relevant sites are interior, so they couldn't really use it if Light had any of the like insurrection style cards that make it only move to exterior sites.
Sam does have 5 characters committed now to the first light sites, and Hondo he did lose as the one forced to pay for the mall drain. So if Bill wants to now commit to that nightclub or commit to one of the other locations, pull ultimatum and run Anakin away. You know, even though Sam has 14 cards in hand and probably does have 2 or 3 potential characters still in there, he's already got 3 blasters on the table. He's already got 5 characters plus EPP. Dengar's already accounted for.
Yes, Bill. Both players have 14 card hands. Sam has 17 in Life Force, and Bill has 21 in Life Force currently.
Thank you, CRG. It's good to be heard.
So this is interesting. We see Yoda going to that Cloud City site instead of heading for the nightclub. So maybe this he's going to do the same plan, but without putting extra battlegrounds on the table for Sam to spread to later in the game.
Yeah, the nightclub's also tricky because of the defense value -1.
Sure. It
You
is
know,
a
with Maul adding 1 and Yoda only being a 6 to begin with, any 5 hits him, and there's plenty of 5s in decks these days.
yes. And we do see the Falcon going down to Polis Massa, so I imagine that the first light probably won't be doing too much there. So if Gaul is not in Sam's deck, or which we kind of expect based on the start, I imagine the space will remain uncontested. But Sam's not too worried about a drain of 1.
No, it's likely to remain uncontested. If the Falcon hadn't shown up there, you know, subtly and sneakily, Sam has 4 gangsters on the first light, so his total battle destiny would have been +4. So even if you just threw down the first light and something, you know, a pilot or something like that, you're adding 4 to your total, which, you know, could have given you enough power to cause a little bit of overflow, even though Luke's completely immune or whatnot. Um, you know, there were things he could have done there that
Yes.
adding these characters gave him extra added value to. Carl does point out the alternate text on "There will be no match for you," which allows Maul at the start of Lightside's control phase. You can move Maul to a location where they have a Jedi, so he could move Maul all the way to Cloud City. And with the Phantom Menace out, Maul's completely immune to attrition and would be harder to hit.
That would certainly force Bill to commit more to that Cloud City site, which he probably isn't super interested in doing. So, Yoshi, it looks like checking his destiny here with Crush. He's got three in his deck.
Not going to pay to drain this turn, so he must see something that he likes, and Aura Sing could be coming into play here.
And there's the something special grabber that you pointed out earlier.
That makes me think that he probably only has the first light then, not running the Zuckuss and ship.
Right. And there is Aura as predicted.
Gonna get hit with the barrier. That'll likely get, maybe not grabbed. It could be.
It is grabbed. But no canceller from Sam.
But
Maybe
now
this-
Warping Maul
I was gonna
seems
say.
less. Yeah. Oh,
Dr. E coming down to help out. I assume Dr. E's just there for backup and is not planning on taking on Yoda by himself there. Although it's certainly possible that Sam has a third character to put at that site.
yeah. And, there are a couple of possibilities here between masterful moves and other copies of Phantom Menace, depending on what that destiny looks like.
True. And there we see it.
Oh,
Asajj with
oh.
lightsabers.
A second barrier. Wow.
Bill is barrier rich this turn, but he's not going to see those again for quite a while, if at all. I imagine First Light's not getting retrieved this game, so.
Yeah, probably never hitting the table. Realistically speaking, now he doesn't even need to warp Maul over. He's got more than enough firepower there between Dr. E and 3 weapons.
Yes, that's going to be a second tough site for Bill to contest. So, but Bill being very disciplined holding that nightclub, I don't think we've seen it come out of his hand yet. So,
I see where you're going with this. He could definitely drop the nightclub, use Yoda's once per game text to relocate him to an episode 1 site, and get the heck out of there.
yep.
Now, Stimpy did retrieve the Hoojix as well, so there's certainly a possibility he may have tracked it around with 3PO by now and pulled it back into hand.
True. And that's not a drain that Sam's going to be too interested in paying for, even if he does kill Yoda. It's just for one, and although he will be getting the free ping from You'll Be Dead on that site. So
He would, but at some point we'll see some escape pod combos hit the table and start shutting down that You'll Be Dead ping.
And and Sam has left himself without a grabber for that so far, unless he plays a third one, which, as CRG pointed out, is possible.
He could still have the tentacle in there somewhere for sure. Fortunately, the downside to committing all of those characters to that site leaves Anakin all by his lonesome.
He's a naturally lonely guy. He's just hanging out, vibing.
Draining for 2 is what he's doing. Jedi's Resilience Bill is what got grabbed by the allegations.
So we see some red cards going off the top for Sam. We got a Gick and a Accelerate. And now one of Sam's many blasters. He already has 4 on table, so he's not exactly hurting for them.
Based on most lists that I've seen, 5 is kind of the number people seem to have settled into, so that's probably the last gun.
Now it's Bill's turn to check his destiny, his singular destiny, with the Skywalker Hut search. Some of the players I've noticed have been typing the destinies in chat so we could see them, but few of these players have had the chance to do that. All right. So Bill does have the Jedi levitation, so he's going to pick somebody up. He's got a lot of options. We saw a bunch of characters go off the top, so we'll
We
see where he
did, we
goes.
did.
My best guess would be Ray, just so he can get a use pile search and find something good.
She would seem to be the most logical if he doesn't have one already in hand. This deck typically runs 2 to 3 copies of her. We've only seen the one hit the lost pile. There you go. Good call, Chris. You were dead on with your assessment. He did take Ray with the Jedi Lev. He's going to deploy the nightclub. He's going to deploy Ray. Now we're going to see, Yoda
Jump on over.
get out of Dodge.
An 8-card use pile to choose from here.
Force activation certainly becomes an issue now, too. Sam's down to 14 down. If he has to pay 3 to drain, and if his blaster ping damage starts getting canceled because he doesn't have a grabber available for the escape pod combo.
Yeah, the Anakin deck is just so card efficient compared to the Shadow Collective. Just from watching the board, you'd think that Sam was dominating this game, but he's actually still down in life force.
I'm going to agree with
size.
Shaw. Yeah, I'm going to agree with Shaw here. I think Maul has to teleport over at this point during the next turn.
Sure.
See if Sam has any backup he can spare, or maybe even a Lana combo to move some people. Maybe bring Aura Singh or Ventress or somebody with him.
Sam activating down to 1 destiny, so not planning on any fights this turn, which makes sense.
Well, yeah, he's out of weapons.
Yeah. Oh, and we do see the escape pod combo there.
Yeah.
So Bill's going to be tracking that around.
Did see Sam already lose his Gick off the top a turn or two ago. So Maul moving by himself is potentially a little bit risky. If Stimpy has any other characters, you could be looking at, 10, 12 power to 4.
True.
Maul might actually end up getting overflowed a little bit in that battle.
Well, at least Sam doesn't have to probably worry about another forfeit 0 weapon.
Very true. Unless Stimpy's been holding something all game that we just haven't seen yet.
That'd be spicy. He's just had Obi-Wan and the lightsaber rolled up.
Yeah. He's had them both in hand the whole time, or he's got some other just random floating weapon like Luke's hunting rifle or something. Or
I hope it's exactly Luke's hunting rifle.
It can't deploy on either of those guys, though. It can only go on aliens or rebels, so he'd even need a different character to put that on. I had to go look it up, but
I love it.
and it only makes him forfeit 0 if it's hit by a Luke, so probably not working in this matchup, but oh,
So Sam is no escaping for the gun. Interesting. Doesn't seem like a card that would be consequential enough to want to use that on, but maybe Sam's got another plan.
interesting here. He puts Hondo to the gallery site. I'm thinking he's got the Lana combo, and he's going to move those 4 guys all together.
That could be. And Joker King brings up a good point that I had not considered, that the objective lets you recirculate, so he could potentially battle and then recirculate at some point to get some destiny for things. So having 1 destiny in his deck doesn't intrinsically mean that he won't be battling. Here's the Lana combo for 2.
Yeah, several players in the chat agreeing with that a minute ago. Like, the only reason you do this is because he's got the Lana combo, right? So
Yep, and we see everybody but Hondo from Cloud City move over to the nightclub for a party. So we got Aura with gun, Dr. E with a gun, Dr. E combo with a gun, and Asajj with lightsabers. And then we see Maul move over to contest the first light reception area against Anakin.
This is also going to put him on multiple battlegrounds now, so when he flips the objective at the end of the turn, it's going to cause 1 additional force loss.
Joker King is correct about Bill's Leia choice. He lost a Leia Organa V off the top earlier in the game. So he might have a split persona there, but maybe not.
I think this is probably going to be it for who Sam moves. He'll probably save those last 2 force for the potential draw their fire, interrupt, spend.
Yep, that makes sense to me. And we do see Bill lose an R2 and red 5 from his hand, so he has a split of red 5s, which is interesting.
That is interesting. That's not something I have seen very often, but I mean, it's a Destiny 7, right? So
it's tough to beat those when you can guarantee 3PO. Yeah, Dan, we were talking about the Luke choice earlier, that neither having EPP to battle nor having Luke Skywalker V to retrieve has made the game a bit tougher for Bill. That he's got the space battling Luke, but against a deck where space battling probably won't happen.
I'm also going to disagree with Dan that Leia Rebel Princess would be bad for Sam. Not really, because in either of the places where he's likely to battle, he has non-alien characters. So it would really just be potentially blanking Hondo or blanking Kira and the Prince over there at that site. But this deck also does run 2 Wounded Warriors, which means you could just cancel Leia's game text and then beat the crap out of her. So
that would be not ideal. So just to catch people up on the game state, Sam has 7 in hand, 14 in life force, and Bill has 10 in hand and 16 in life force. So as we kind of predicted going in, it's going to be a close game in a close match. So there's a lot on the line here.
And now you're looking at, are there ways either side could potentially start retrieving force? And light side, both sides kind of have to initiate battles to do that, and
neither of them really want to here.
I was going to say, there aren't a lot of good places for light side to initiate battles right now. Maybe you could go after Hondo or something like that, just to take a guy off the board, retrieve a card kind of thing. But all you're really doing is putting a gun back in your opponent's deck at the same time.
And we haven't even seen draw their fire from Bill yet, so the upside of that play is not as high as it usually would be.
Mm-hmm. That 7 sitting over there on top of the lost pile really makes draw their fire more tempting, though.
True.
We've seen a lot of close games in this OCS so far. I mean, these are all, highly competitive players. They all had to go through a gauntlet of opponents, through months of grinding, mostly, or having some really strong months and things to going 11-1 in a given month is not easy to do. Going 12-0 in a month is even, you can probably count on one or two hands how many times that's happened this year.
Yeah, it's a grind. It was interesting to hear Justin and Bill were having a discussion in chat in one of the earlier games about whether it was an easy or hard qualification, and there was some disagreement there. But it certainly seems hard to me.
You keeping time at home. Yoshi's at 26 minutes. Stimpy is down to about 19 minutes. So the
In
clock
chat,
could
one
become a factor. As Stimpy also puts in chat, he's taking time to
it
think
was an
right now.
easy.
Well played, sir.
Bill is down on clock by 8-ish minutes, but both of them have plenty of time. I don't think that's going to come into play.
And it is a 5-minute decision timeout. And he's already
Correct,
burned
yeah.
about a minute and a half without taking an action. So
Hopefully, we don't see that be a problem. Okay, get a little more information. Get a card off of Ray. She's quite the card advantage engine. I'll say that.
maybe a little too good,
Perhaps, perhaps.
especially with communing.
Sure. Yeah, just get all the card selection in the world.
Do you like this card? Yes. Put it on the bottom, then go get it. That seems really, really overpowered, but I mean, I guess there's enough other restrictions on those cards that it appears to be somewhat balanced.
I wonder if Bill knows about the inaction timer, and that's why he drew the card with Ray.
Certainly
Little
possible
little
because
reset there.
he's sitting here thinking for another going on minute now.
Deep in the tank. He does have an 11 card hand, so he's definitely got some options available to him.
I think the card he's looking for here would be quite a mercenary. If he can cancel Dr. E's game text, that battle in the nightclub would be less problematic.
Sure. So here we see EPP Ahsoka going down to fight against Kira and Shizor. We'll see if anybody joins her. I assume somebody will.
Got 3 saved, so 2 weapon destiny and 1 battle destiny. Could he get both characters? I don't know.
Oh, he's spreading out. So we see the second copy of Leia Organa V going to Cloud City against Hondo.
Interesting.
Oh, and we're
Okay.
checking this to activate another one, so that implies that there will not be a lightsaber swing this turn.
Now, more likely, Anakin's going to move over with Ahsoka,
Sure.
and he just doesn't want Anakin stuck. And Leia's the one who's likely going to battle, and he's burning himself down to the bottom card, which I'm sure he's tracked and made sure is good enough to clear Hondo and the gun.
That all makes a lot of sense.
can battle. He can retrieve one with Leia Organa.
Yes, I imagine, as CRG points out, I imagine the card that Bill 3PO'd for was the Escape Pod combo. Ooh, a Persona replacement of Anakin. So now we've upgraded to Jedi Anakin at the reception area.
It's an interesting choice, though, because if he moves Anakin away, Maul can follow the following turn if necessary.
Sure.
Maul can move around to 2 different places, so it gets a little more flexibility there.
And you retrieve the Anakin back with a battle, so that's kind of a neat play. Kind of a free Persona replacement there.
Doesn't get the 7 back, though.
True.
No draw their fire, because I'm sure he's assuming his opponent's going to battle him in at least 1, if not 2 locations next turn.
Ooh, and we see a Phantom Menace shooting Leia.
And that's nice to know where that is to track around for next turn as well.
Absolutely. That's going to be big for Sam.
I'm going to assume that's the card he point manned 1 or 2 turns ago. But now he's going to shuffle it. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know that I necessarily like that move there. There's no real need to shuffle unless he knew the card underneath the 7 is that Proxima? No, he moved more than 1 person, so.
Or he just knows his character count and knows that there's just no bad destinies left in his deck.
It's possible. Now, if he has 2 force to play Wounded Warrior to cancel Leia's text. Hey, look at
There
that.
it is.
Now he gets no battle destiny because she doesn't draw if unable to otherwise anymore. He's got a destiny to power. She's not forfeit 0, but he's only covering 9 total. So
once again, we see a battle that Bill initiated going Sam's way.
And there's a 5 for power destiny, which means it's going to be Leia plus whatever else he draws after this. At least 1 card. Actually, at least 2 because he'll maul to increase it by 1.
I mean, he probably still has that Hoojix again that he tracked around, right? We have to imagine that.
You would think so if he's making a move like this.
Oh,
I guess
Bill
he doesn't.
says he concedes. So that is the match. Sam will move on to top 8. So quite a game. A little back and forth. Yeah, that's a tough way to end it. But hopefully everybody enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me, Chris, and good luck in the rest of the games to Sam. And we will catch you all later.
Take it easy, guys. Have a great day.